This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello, I'm Tensai Gabiao, your host for the news this hour. Stay tuned. Let's start with Morocco. Morocco is in talks to acquire its first military submarines to safeguard its vast exclusive economic zone and strengthen defenses in the Atlantic and Mediterranean. France leads the bids with diesel-electric submarines, 1,600 to 2,000 tons, 6 torpedo tubes, up to 18 weapons, some with extended stealth capability, plus a proposed local shipyard. Germany offers advanced models with long-duration stealth. Russia and other proposed alternatives, including second-hand units. Experts suggest 2 to 3 submarines for effective deterrence. The Royal Moroccan Navy is undergoing broad modernization. Morocco recently ordered 10 new helicopters to replace old ones, supported by a $13 billion 2025 defense budget focused on protecting sovereignty and national waters. A senior Ugandan official on Friday warned the public against its misuse of artificial intelligence as the country heads toward general elections scheduled for January 15, noting that the technology could be exploited by negative elements to sway public opinion. Amina Zaude, permanent secretary of the Ministry of Information, Communication, Technology and National Guidance, said in a statement that when used responsibly, AI can expand access to information and strengthen democratic engagement. However, the technology can also be abused to distort the truth, inflame divisions, and undermine public trust, said Zaude, who also chairs the National AI Task Force. Zaude said that while AI itself is not an enemy, its manipulation during elections interferes with citizens' ability to make informed choices. She urged the public to refrain from digitally sharing any unverified or sensational content. Zaude further warned that although Uganda is still developing a dedicated legal framework for AI, existing laws already apply. Election-related misconduct remains unlawful, whether committed offline or online, and the misuse of AI to mislead or manipulate carries serious consequences, she said. New roads, hotels, and services are welcoming visitors to Ethiopia's historic sites and natural wonders. Tourism creates jobs and celebrates our culture. Investing in visitors invests in our future. President John Dramani Mahama has declared that Ghana is rising again after a year of economic stabilization and reforms, pledging an accelerated expansion of social, economic, and governance programs in 2026 under his reset agenda. In his New Year address to the nation, the president said the country had emerged from severe distress inherited at the start of his administration and was now on a path of recovery anchored in discipline, credibility, and renewed confidence.
1 year ago, we inherited a nation in distress, an economy on its knees, unemployment crushing our youth, infrastructure crumbling, public trust eroded, and hope dimming in the eyes of our people. We were told that the recovery would take a generation, but I knew something our critics did not know. I knew the resilient spirit of the Ghanaian people. At the dawn of the new year, I stand before you to say our beloved nation Ghana is rising again. We've accomplished a lot together in the past 12 months through prudent management and difficult but necessary reforms.
Reflecting on his first year in office ahead of the anniversary of his swearing-in, the president described his pledge to reset the country as a binding commitment rather than political rhetoric. President Mahama pointed to macroeconomic gains as evidence of progress, noting a sharp reduction in inflation and improving currency performance. He also said Ghana had achieved relative currency stability and was on a course to be ranked among the world's best performing currencies in 2025, while business confidence had been restored, resulting in increased domestic and foreign direct investment.
We've reduced inflation from the distressing levels above 23% by the end of 2024 and are hopeful to end 2025 with inflation at single digits of just above 5%. We have achieved relative currency stability and on track to be ranked among the best performing currencies in the world for 2025. We're accelerating economic growth and creating more opportunities for our young people. We've restored business confidence and have seen a significant increase in both domestic and foreign direct investment. We restored Ghana's credibility with our international partners, successfully completed the renegotiation of our debt obligations on terms that protect our sovereignty while at the same time ensuring sustainability.
On debt and international relations, the president said Ghana had successfully renegotiated its debt obligations on terms that protect our sovereignty while ensuring sustainability, and was beginning the process of exiting the IMF program with dignity, not as supplicants, but as partners. President Mahama said economic recovery was translating into growth across key sectors, including construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and services, creating new employment opportunities for young people, whom he described as Ghana's greatest resource. The municipal government of Kinshasa, capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, on Monday signed a memorandum of understanding with Vietnam's Vingroup and local firm Exposure Seoul to roll out fully electric transport on a large scale. The agreement outlines the acquisition and deployment of electric vehicles from VinFast, Vingroup's automotive subsidiary, to address the city's mobility needs. The partners also committed to developing a supporting infrastructure ecosystem, including an extensive network of charging stations and modern maintenance and repair facilities. The project's first phase, set to run through the first quarter of 2026, will focus on developing a roadmap leading to the signing of formal implementation contracts. As part of the plan, VinFast will supply 500 electric buses and 1,000 electric cars for Kinshasa's public fleet. Separately, VinFast and Exposure plan to finalize a contract to supply and distribute between 10,000 and 20,000 electric cars and 50,000 to 100,000 electric motorbikes for the local market. Kinshasa, home to nearly 20 million people, grapples with chronic traffic congestion and high CO emissions, driven by rapid growth in vehicle numbers that has outpaced road infrastructure expansion. Shifting to our business headlines, KB Group has signed a memorandum of understanding with the government of the Republic of Botswana to collaborate on the development of large-scale renewable energy generation, energy storage, and transmission infrastructure. The MOU marks an important milestone in KB Group's international expansion and Botswana's ambition to become a net-zero country by 2030, according to a statement released by KPI Green Energy Limited. Included in the MOU is the framework for planning, development, and implementation of renewable energy and related projects. Under the MOU, both parties will work together to develop a host of renewable energy and infrastructure projects that would require capital investment of around $4 billion. These projects are expected to help increase Botswana's renewable energy capacity to nearly 5 gigawatts. The collaboration looks to upgrade and build high-voltage transmission lines within Botswana, as well as strengthening interconnections with neighboring countries. KB Group will also support 30 scholarships per year for citizens of Botswana to pursue education and skill development in areas related to renewable energy, engineering, sustainability, and allied disciplines. As part of the understanding, KB Group will lead technical and commercial development activities, including feasibility studies, project design, financing, construction, commissioning, and long-term operation and maintenance of the renewable energy storage assets. Liberia plans to make mining and energy a key source of public revenue, seeking to generate more than $3 billion a year from natural resources under a new strategy, the government said. The plan, unveiled by the Ministry of Mines and Energy at the ceremony of Monrovia in late December 2025, focuses on strengthening domestic exploration capacity and developing a reliable geological database. Authorities will seek technical support from France, China, and the United States to update national geological information dating back to 1972, the local Daily Observer newspaper reported. The ministry also plans to digitize 80% of its procedures by 2029, up from about 40% currently. It aims to reduce reliance on mining royalties by increasing the state's equity participation in mining projects. Under existing legislation, the government is entitled to a free carried interest of between 10% and 15% in mining ventures. In the artisanal and small-scale mining segment, Liberia intends to double the number of licensed miners to 1,000 by 2029 from around 500 today. The strategy, backed by total investment of $39.5 million, including funding from the African Development Bank. Now to sports. Antonio Rüdiger has once again used his off-season to give back, spending his vacation in Sierra Leone, his mother's country, through the work of his charitable foundation. It marked the Real Madrid and Germany's defender's third visit to the West African nation, a trip defined by compassion, connection, and long-term commitment rather than rest. One of the highlights of the visit was a large-scale outreach program for people with disabilities. Rüdiger organized a communal meal for more than 200 individuals, including those who are blind, deaf, or physically disabled. Beyond distributing food and essential supplies, he spent personal time engaging with them, reinforcing his belief in dignity and inclusion. He also met with athletes with disabilities and later invited the German ambassador to explore potential areas of cooperation and support. Reflecting on the experience, Rüdiger described the visits as deeply energizing. These trips give me more energy than any other vacation. Humanitarian work motivates me and teaches me new lessons, and I will continue to come back, he said. Football has given me everything, given hope, structure, and confidence to young players in the least I could do. That's all for this hour. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.